every year I learned there's 10 millions of cases of domestic violence.
Yes, sir. I learned that too.
And then last year, I remember just hearing it. I wasn't like on the story itself, but it was saying like domestic violence has increased over the last year because now everything was on shutdown mode basically. Even though Florida wasn't really, but still everything was on like shutdown mode where people had to now be in a space they're not used to being, you know, and it's either with their spouse or with their kids. Like that whole 8 hour or 7 hour day at school or 8 hour, 7 hour day at work or whatever the case is. Now you have to spend that time with your family, which is bonkers, but then you're not used to it. So you're the things that everyone had to deal with, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to kids, you know, like the teachers dealing with your problems and all this while you're at work. Now you had to be through that, and the calls were going up. Divorces was going up because of COVID, and it's like they had to literally face the person for the first time, even though they've been married for whatever the amount of years or whatever the case is. But the percent wise, as low as I found out it to be, just any number going up, period, is high. So it went up 8%.
Yeah,
that's big.
That is.
That's 10 million.
So
that's 8% of 10 million.
Yeah, exactly. So like that's what I'm saying. Even though the numbers sound low, that's still high value. Yeah, to go up. So 8% went up in the cases of domestic violence. The other thing I didn't know was so 1 out of 3 women will be in the case of domestic violence.
Which is 35.6%.
And 1 out of 4 men will be in the same case. Yeah. And I was like, geez, that's bonkers to me because it's like literally in this room, we got 4 guys right now. So it's like one of us is
oh my God.
Ain't gonna be me though.
But you know, so it's just like, wow, right there in your face. The other thing I did learn was that what was the other thing that I did learn in the process? I think that's all I recall at this moment. But
and as you're kind of on that too, I'll just share another stat, and then we'll get back to the conversation. I have a question after the stat. Like it was saying that women from age 18 to 24 and 25 to 34, so I guess 18 to 24, 25 to 34, are generally the highest rate. Yeah. You know, so basically from 18 to 34, like those groups are like the highest rate to be like susceptible to be getting domestic violence done against them. So, you know, in your line of working with clients or whatever with DV, like, did you find that, which age group did you work with kind of, or did you find that to be true, that a lot of majority of it was to be a certain age?
It is true.
Yeah?
It is true around that age group.
Like 18 to 34.
So, yeah, there was
18 to 34?
Yeah, 18 to 34. There was a lot of women. We also see men. That's something I'm glad you mentioned the number, because it doesn't only affect women, men as well. So it was around that age group. You have a few more of the older, like the older generation.
Like passing 30.
Like 50, we're talking about 50, 60, 70, like way back there as well. But it was a lot more within the younger 18 to 34. Don't you guys wonder why? Why do you guys think it's so high among that group?
I think the mind is not fully developed, or a person haven't found themselves completely.
Right. It could be that, yeah,
because
for sure.
I felt like, you know, and I was talking to a friend of mine, recently too, like 2 days ago. And we were just talking about his brother, and he was like, you know, I think he's in the process of figuring himself out. So this is why he's kind of going to the process of what he's going through, the evolution thing. So he's like, 22, I think, or 23. So he kind of went through the, hey, I'm free from school, you know, be wild. But now he's settling down, but he hasn't figured it out. But he's still working all that. So I felt like 25, usually a lot of men click for some reason at 25. 25 makes sense for them. And they just, I don't know, it's like a switch some cases, not all the time, but 25, like a lot of friends that I talk to, is always that number, 25. But whatever the case is, I think it's just easy to catch an undeveloped person,
right?
And then mold it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like, even, and this is almost on the side, but the kidnapping cases. They choose them young.
Right.
Like they will even go as far as a 3-year-old girl. Why? Because undeveloped.
Easily,
You know what I'm saying?
You
So
can-
Hey,
you
would
could
you
walk
like
their
some
brain.
ice cream?
Yeah,
Can I have
so
some ice cream? There's a dog in the car. Would you like to come and pet my dog?
yeah, and then some people in their 30s
Yeah.
still not figuring life out.
Yeah.
So you got that. So I just think
Mhm.
that for me it would be undeveloped, haven't figured themselves out.
Mhm.
So it's easy to warp their mind. And
Yeah,
kinda
it's
put-
true. It's true, and also when you look at that age group as well, what you will consider as love sometimes is not truly that love that you think that it is. The
Mm.
person is a lot of time they very controlling and jealous. When it
Mhm.
comes to jealousy, it's like next level type of jealousy. One of the things I used to hear is that the ladies used to come and be like, "Oh, you know, at first I thought it was sexy, it was cute that he every time someone look at me and then he'll get jealous, he will throw a comment at me, and then over time."
Yeah.
Now, when I get home, I get beaten because somebody looked at me.
What?
I get slapped, kicked, or
You pay for it. 'Cause
yeah,
they
because
can't beat the
somebody
other person up.
just look at me. So it's like what you considered like so cute in the beginning, over time,
Nah, it's
and
like
you're
a problem.
wait a minute,
We
this
should have
is
seen the
not.
signs.
I don't think that's okay.
Mm.
So it escalated really fast, and
Mm.
in that age group as well, they trying to feel belong somewhere. They trying to feel like, and usually with an abuser,
Mhm.
one of the things when it comes to abuse, it's a learning behavior. So with an abuser, it's like when they meet that person, they know how to kind of like get you in,
Snatch you
like
up.
manipulating
They
you,
start
make
you
sure
up.
you like you in love. And
Yeah.
one of the biggest thing they usually do is that they will isolate you from your friends and family.
Yep.
Two biggest support that you could ever
For
have in life.
sure.
They completely isolate you from these
Just
people.
me and you.
And the moment that happened,
They
You're
got you.
done.
who
They
you
got
calling
you.
now? When they putting you down,
Yeah.
who you gonna call?
Yeah.
If
They
you
got
feel
you.
like you want to get out, where are you going at this point?
Mm.
So it's like here you are, especially if you're a young girl or a young man in a relationship, and you just find yourself trapped over time, and then you thought this was cute. I thought that was very nice of him. That was very
Mhm.
kind.
Mm.
You know, he used to bring me flower, or he would hit me and then just
Mhm.
apologize. But now it's just every time this is happening, and now here I am. I can't even say anything anymore because I'm not allowed to speak back.
Mm.
I'm not allowed to say anything. I'm not allowed to stand up for myself. I'm just here.
Yeah.
So it get pretty painful.
And I just remember this stat too. On the average, it takes a repeater 68 times before they actually report the first time.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Talking about reporting.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
before they even
that's-
report it the first time.
So it happened like 68 times before they
It
even did
happens,
I'm
yeah.
going to report.
So mind you, they could have had a whole list on this person, a whole rap. But since this is your first time reporting,
That's the first time
most
they really
cases
working on
they're
it.
gonna get out.
Yeah, it's the first offense.
Yeah.
And especially if the guy's record is completely clean.
Right.
So there's that aspect. So yeah. So
Underreported.
Yeah,
that was the last thing I did remember researching. I was like,
Quickly.
how you even got the 8? Like, not 68. Like,
That's-
but that's what we're gonna learn. But I'm
Wow.
speaking from another side point. So
Yeah.
my mind is freer. So
That's true.
yeah.